I guess you just put up some videos on your social media of just training in Myanmar.
Yeah,
I guess
exactly.
what? So is it? Damn, man, a lot's changed, man. When we first sat down, it was last May.
Yeah, true. I was in Myanmar when we called. I was
Yeah,
in
you were.
Myanmar.
But I mean, you were in Myanmar, but I mean, your whole world has changed. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of a nerd, and what I mean by that is, I write everything down. So
Okay.
this time last
Give
year,
me an example. You write. You have like a notebook with all the notes.
oh, dude, I got, I got,
Wow.
I got, I got a lot of notebooks, man. But just on your social media this time last year on Instagram, you were like, I think 41K.
I think so. Yeah, it exploded. Yeah.
It's just exploding, man. And then, are you watching the one fights right now?
Right now, no, not at the moment. But I saw a couple. I saw with my friend on La Fat. I don't watch all of them. So, but yeah, is it happening right now?
It's happening right now in
Yeah.
the Philippines. But I only bring that up because I'm watching it on like the Fight Pass, UFC,
Okay.
and they have Lethwei now.
Yeah, but the that's with WLC.
Now, is that the one that you just signed with?
Exactly.
That's
So you'll be
crazy,
able to watch it. You'll be able to watch it on Fight Pass for next time. I'm fighting
dude.
in August.
Okay.
So
Now,
I'm gonna be coming from Myanmar to I'm gonna be going to Canada soon for my training camp. I'll be
mhm.
training with my Sifu Pat for the entire summer, like about 2 months, 3 months. So I'll be fucking ready, and it's gonna be my WLC debut, and it's also gonna be for a title fight. So it's gonna be the WLC open weight golden belt. So it's gonna be fucking massive.
so is this going now? What are the little? Because last year you were talking to me about you didn't. You didn't say any specific leagues, but you said there were a couple leagues around the
Yeah.
world that were using the
Okay.
Lethwei name, but the
Yeah.
rules were different.
Yeah.
With the WLC, are there's talk about maybe some rule changes?
Yeah, exactly. So basically, there's been a lot of like we spoke about last time. I was fighting with other promotion. It was mostly with the Myanmar Media Group. I still respect those guys a lot. You know, he's the one that organized our wedding in December 2016. So he said after you win if you win the golden belt, I'm gonna pay for your wedding. So it happened. It was pretty fucking cool, and but just like it's a business move, and I saw that first of all the vision of growth was not the same. They were really more focused of how many tickets can I sell in Myanmar, and that's it. I still don't have my one of my fights in December, in December 2017 against the French kickboxing champion. I still don't have the event, brother. So it was it's just pissing me off a little bit that I was uh, lacking some uh, media stuff. So when I met with the president of WLC, who has like a vision to the world unequaled or unequal in Myanmar, it was refreshing. So basically, we spoke about his use, and we managed to solidify the deal with the UFC Fight Pass, which is huge for. It looks easy, for most event in Canada, America, like they're on UFC Fight Pass, but we're talking about a 2,000-year-old sport like Lethwei to get on a modern platform like UFC Fight Pass. It's quite a feat, So we did it, and now people are gonna be able to see it, not have to like find a Facebook live stream that cuts every 2 seconds. It's gonna be able to be on the Fight Pass. I'm pretty excited to give that to the fans next fight, August.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, man. I mean, just that fact alone, like I've watched your last three fights on one of those links on Facebook
yeah, it's
that
not easy.
Lethwei World would share.
Yeah,
So, and you've done, man, in the last 12 months, you've done probably, I don't know, I'm just making up a number, at least over 50 seminars throughout the
yeah,
world, going on like your world tour. I know you're a modest guy. You're a fighter. You're a samurai. You're a ninja. Um, how much of the getting Lethwei on the Fight Pass UFC app? How much of that do you feel that you helped you're responsible for?
Oh, for this, I'm responsible for it. So not just because of promoting Lethwei, but meetings and like literally having the meetings and everything. So yeah, it was many calls, many meetings and everything. So I'm trying to be involved as much as possible on the promoting it. So it's not just I'll post some pictures of Lethwei and I'll do this and that. But it was really a long process.
Yeah, man. Did you see? Now I don't know I don't know how it lined up with that Netflix series that Frank Grillo did, Fight World.
Okay.
And they did one on Lethwei.
At the time, I was not in a good relation, in a good standing with WLC. So people to clear the thing a little bit. At the beginning, when WLC did their first event, I was with other promotions, and basically I was quite defensive. I was very how do you say? I was very defensive on them. I was a bit like territorial, like a fucking lion protecting his territory. I didn't like that they were using the modern rule set, which I mean at the time I was looking back, and I said that in many articles with the Fight Nation, and I said that I was a bit misinformed on the situation of the rule set in Myanmar. All my fights I fought them with traditional KO only win, so it was that's what I was fighting at. And the modern rule set, which I thought WLC invented, was not invented by them. It's been used since 1976, 1996 by other promoters, and they use that all the time. For example, the modern rule set doesn't have the injury timeout and the point system. So it's a tournament style for Myanmar. So there's a lot of events that use that tournament style rule set to have a winner at the end. So they use that, and it's actually, and the mentality behind behind that is to save the brain of the fighters to have a longer career. So because to be honest, I've never used my injury timeout. My opponents used it, and it's not fun, to be honest. Like the guys, I think it happens a couple times in all the Lethwei that I fought, the Lethwei fights that I've seen. The guys coming back from a KO and winning, it's pretty rare. I know Tutumin did it against Cyrus Washington in one of these fights. He got knocked out, came back, knocked him out, and everything. So, but most of the time, with Tutumin, we're talking about an exception of a fighter. Most of the guys are gonna be very rocked, and it's over after that. It's just downhill from that. So, I was never, even when I was against the WLC, I was never a big proponent of the injury timeout. It's so because for me, I never used it to save my life to win the fight, So
yeah.
I don't rely on it. So anyway, so that's the small things, and I actually learned that one of the open weight champion, Lone Shaw, so LONECHAW, Lone Shaw, in I think in 2004 fought Choi War-tun, the other open weight champion, and won the belt by the tournament rule set. So he actually did knock Choi War-tun. He won it by a point system. So I was learning that. I was a bit less. There was nothing left for me to be against WLC because that's the only thing I was against them. So I just embraced the mentality, the exciting fights that he had. Like they have amazing quality shows, and so I'm like, yeah, let's team up, and I'm ready for a new challenge. The only belt I didn't have is the WLC. So I vacate all my belts. I don't know if you saw recently, we did a press conference. I vacate all the other belts except obviously the title of openweight champion. I'm going into the WLC as the undefeated openweight champion, but I'm not holding the other belts of other promotions. So I'm ready to attack this promotion. Like that's because I don't want to fight for another 5 years, 7 years. So let's just get as many stuff as possible as I can right now.
Yeah, you've said before, I mean, you're still young. You're in your 20s. You said you wanted to be, in a perfect world, you'd be retired by the time you're 30. And back to the rule set. So other than that injury, the injury timeout, are there any other rule changes with the
No.
WLC? Talk about the hands. How about the rounds, the times?
Actually,
scoring?
they don't allow any oil on. Like I like to use my the Thai oil, on the body and stuff. This you're not allowed to use Vaseline almost. So same wraps, a little bit of gauze on the knuckles, no oil, and headbutts, takedowns, all the other stuff. Yeah. So the that's it.
Yeah. Okay. So is there you coming in there? You know, you want to.
For the record, Johnny, I'm gonna win by knockout regardless. It doesn't
I
change
mean,
nothing.
I wasn't gonna ask you that, man. I wanted to talk about the last few. Man, your last knockout. I messaged you right after that. How do I say this? How do you practice the elbows, man? You know, because
Well,
you're not going to hit them on your sparring partners. Is that creativity? Is that instinct? Is that something that you see beforehand? Because I didn't even see it. The thing,
with
the worst,
with the first
yeah,
round. Yeah, yeah.
it was nasty.
The angle, actually, you know what? I was a bit, to be honest. There's still struggles of being a non-Burmese champion. You know, I'm very widely accepted. It's amazing the love that I have, and I'm blessed for that. But there's always some struggles. For example, I know for a fact that the guys, the Skynet, are a big fan of Tuntu Min. So they don't. If you see, we will never get the angle, the other angle when I land on his head. You just see from behind. You just see him fall. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
It was like he got shot.
Yeah. It was a fucking massive elbow. I give it all. And he used the 2-minute timeout to get up, and we ended up doing a good fight. But what was I supposed to say? So basically, when I came in, brother, the crowd was insane. It was like I said, the biggest fight in Lethwei history, and the first thing that I see when I'm waiting on the ropes, they don't even let me finish my song and everything. They start the other song, like a bunch of things. They ask me to see my Vaseline, and I'm like, well, I don't put a lot anyway. And he's like, okay, just checking. And then he comes out, he's full of Vaseline. I'm like, why do you ask me to see this if you're gonna put I mean, it was retarded. They asked me to shave my beard. I had a little beard, and the other guys are full of beard anyway. So like, it was just like they tried to sabotage as much as possible, but didn't work. And when I'm waiting on the ropes, I see one of Tuntu Min's guy with his shirt, and he's like pointing at it with his face on it on his shirt. He's like, and it's the first time that I had like a bad thought coming into my head, like shit. What if I get touched? What if I get dropped? You know, what if
this before the fight?
First time, what?
So these doubts are coming in right before it started.
Right on the ring. I was waiting on the ropes, and I have this. You still there? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had this bad thought of like, what if I get knocked out? And I never had that thought before. So I just closed my mind, and I raised that thought, and I just started visualizing my elbows, my punches landing on his face. So that was okay. But first round, landed my first headbutt knockdown. He dropped with the headbutt. Usually he's the fucking guy that drops everybody with headbutts. So I was happy with that. And then not long after that, I do my skip step, and then a big downward elbow on the it landed. Yeah. So it was. How do you train that? Well, it's a lot of on the pads. You can't do it on your friends, right? So it was always on the pads, on the bag. I just love elbows because it saves your hand a lot, because hands are very fragile, and the elbows are solid, man. So
yeah, your accuracy too, man. Did you get a chance to see the bare knuckle fighting stuff?
Yeah, I saw a quick video. On Instagram.
Jason Knight fought Artem Lobov. But
did you watch it?
Yeah, man, I'm just a combat junkie. Anything that comes on, I'm gonna watch it, because I'm just obsessed with. I look at it all like human performance. I don't look at like, fighting with two people trying to hurt each other. I look at it like it's like chess. All right, who is at a higher level, and who is going to take advantage of the other one's mistakes? Now, your sport, man, Lethwei. I think I messaged you like 5 times when about 3-4 months ago, I was like, dude, you got to get on Rogan. You know what I'm saying? Because that guy, he's like his platform, his following is huge.
And we're working on it. I I got in touch with my with Bass, and we met in California. Bass is now a good friend of mine, so he
Boss
loves
Rudin?
Lethwei. He loves Lethwei. Yeah, Bass Rutan, and
Oh,
he
dude,
loves Lethwei. He
he
has
was just
the my
on.
Lethwei shirt. What?
Yeah, Boss was just on my podcast like maybe 3 months ago.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, Rogan had your video from your Instagram with the you playing is it Chinlone?
Yeah, Chinlone. Yeah.
Chinlone. And they're talking about martial arts, but they didn't even realize that you're in the video and they're
Yeah.
like, what's that one sport? It's like Muay Thai. And I'm like, dude, come on,
Yes.
Rogan, you're better
Come
than
on,
that.
guys. Make
Yeah,
your
like
research. Yeah.
yeah, do
Yeah,
your
make
research.
your research. It's stupid. I know. I was very pissed that they don't know. I don't care if you don't call my name. It's fine. Like just talk about the sport correctly. It's not from Cambodia. It's not from
Yeah,
Thailand. You know,
yeah.
the culture is it's Lethwei. It's in Myanmar. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was it. He did say he was like it's Cambodia. It's like no man, that's Myanmar. The accuracy, man. There's so much to talk
Yeah,
about.
I actually think that the chin loan is a good way to get better at Lethwei because you're using your head, you're using your
Wow.
kicks, your and everything except your hands, obviously. But it's a cool way to stay flexible, you know. So it's I like
That's
that.
interesting.
But to be honest, I can only do headbutts, smash. I cannot do my legs over the head.
You can't do the somersault roundhouse thing.
Uh,
Man, it's impressive nonetheless. Back to the hands, and you're throwing the
yeah,
elbows to save
yeah.
the hands. When you're in these exchanges, are you ever thinking? Do you ever see an opening and change your tools because you like say you see a left hook open or a left
Yeah.
uppercut, and you're like, hold on, maybe I can land the elbow instead. Is that crossing your mind?
Well, I'm using more of my hands on the outside, and then when I'm inside, I will use more of my head and my elbows. Recently, I started using more hands because my sifu said that he felt the power, and he's like, okay, you should use it more. So inside, I use more uppercuts now. I landed some on my other fights. So yeah, more uppercuts. But I think you see these angles. But one thing you have to remember is inside, you have to have almost one hand that is on the head, so on his head to protect from his headbutt. So it kind of limits you for the amount of stuff that people do. Especially if you saw like vertical boxing, they're really not afraid of a head smash, and that's a big thing in Lethwei. So I have to block one hand, and the other hand is mobile. It's completely different than other sports. So it changes your game set a little bit.
Yeah, what's it like living in? Are you? Do you call do you call Dubai home?
I call Myanmar home. To be honest, I
Okay.
have a place in Myanmar and I have a place in Dubai. So Myanmar is where I feel the most relaxed, and Dubai is only for business. And
Okay.
so, yeah,
When you're fighting their legends like Tin Tin Moon, and I've done my research since I met you, and they worship him. Did you feel the crowd being torn because you come in there with the flag? You're
yeah.
like, what's that like
Yeah.
when you know what I mean
Good
with the
question.
crowd?
Very good question. This fight was supposed to be his big return.
Mm-hmm.
He smashed everybody for years, and now he was incapacitated for like 2 years because I fucked up his knee with a takedown and the kicks. And so he was training hard for this. I wasn't, to be honest. I was doing seminars in all Europe. Like you said, we did so many seminars, and they call me while I'm on tour in Norway, and you tell me like, okay, you're gonna fight in December. I'm like, well, I don't want. Can we do it in January? And they took it like I don't want to fight, which they said they sent me a letter afterwards, and that was a big shock, and I was a bit insulted because I just fought Dieselek in a couple 1 or 2 months before, and they sent me a letter. They said, well, since you're not willing to defend your belt, you're gonna be vacated if you don't defend it. So that we're talking now. We're talking about the main national champion, like the golden belt, but not the other promotion belt, like the
Of
Japan belt.
Myanmar.
So if you don't defend your belt, we're gonna vacate you. And I was like, guys, I just fought 2 months ago. I'm obviously not shying away from any challenge. I'm just asking, can I have at least 2 months or 1 month of training, and can we do it after the holidays in the January? They didn't want nothing to do with it because it's all about money, and they already had the sponsorship planned for December and everything. So I'm like, okay, let's go. I come back to Dubai, and then Myanmar. I trained for 2 weeks, and then we go for the fight. So he was
Wow.
training for months and months with
He
only.
looked good too. Like he
Thank
was
you.
bodied up.
But to be honest, my Sifu said like I started losing a bit. Like you don't see because my style, I don't show too much tiredness. But I was very. I think in the third or fourth, fifth round, I was more. I was not throwing enough. I was not throwing as much because I didn't have the cardio. So my style is if I feel like I'm gonna be tired or I'm tired, I'm gonna counter. I'm gonna wait for the counter. I'm not gonna attack as much. So first and second round, I was really active. But after that, because of my only 2 weeks training camp
Wow.
for the biggest fight, I was so. But yeah, it was the crowd was pretty torn for this one, and he was all because okay. To be honest,
Did you
the
feel
whole
bad?
what.
Did you feel bad at how it ended? Like, I know it's a weird question. I'm kind of like, I mean, you're a good dude. I mean, you beat people up for a living, but it doesn't take somebody long to know that, your root and your core, you're a good guy. When you
Thank
have a
you.
dude, when you have a guy like that who comes from that country, who has his whole country on his back, and I mean, you've done it twice now. You smashed
Yeah.
him at his own game. Is there any emotion, any kind of mixed emotions there?
um, a little bit because at the end of the day we're all brothers, and
Mm.
it's yeah, good question. I feel I mean he's doing well. He has his team with him and everything, his family, and but he's we're in this we're in this to win, and we're entertainers, and um, he's not he's done something, he's said something about me, and he's done
He was
so.
talking trash.
Yeah,
I know.
and
I
that's
couldn't believe it. I couldn't
never
believe
been
you got.
seen before.
Yeah, you got in his head.
Yeah. And it's never been said before. It's never been done before in Lethwei. So I mean, I like it. I don't. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's cool. It's a show at the end of the day, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
so I was gonna say, uh, yeah. I guess. Well, he said that. Do I feel bad? Well, I think no. I think it's made a best man win. That's it.
Mm. Yeah, and then looking towards August, I don't know if you already told me, but is this fight WLC? Is that in Myanmar?
Yeah, it's gonna be,
Okay.
but it's gonna be my first time. It's in Mandalay, not in Yangon.
Okay. And then, are you one of these guys before your fights, whoever you fight, are you researching your opponent, or you don't care about that? Or are you trying to fill in the gaps of your own game? Talk about the mental preparation leading up for a new opponent. What's going through your head?
Well, I obviously watched some of the past fights, just a little bit to see the style, how did he win before and everything. So
Mm.
um, right now, I still don't have the confirmation, but I know it's going to be a former UFC champion. Sorry, maybe not champion, but UFC fighter.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
going to be like a minimum of 10 UFC fights. So a veteran of the sport and the league. So that's going to be exciting to fight MMA guy because I fought K1, Muay Thai, all the guys. So now it's cool to have like a guy that's you mastered MMA. So let's do this. Yeah, I watched the fights. I watched the style, what side he's in, and everything. So it's mostly just to get a feel, and then from there, it's all about visualization. I see the openings, and I see, well, okay, I know that this is gonna land, this is gonna land, and
Mhm.
yeah, and I know that my headbutts are gonna land because they're used to the head pressure in MMA, in the clinch, in the wrestling, but they're not used to getting hit in the face with it. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's a different ball game. You have this. I don't know if you could tell, but since May, I think you fought 2 or 3 times,
Mm-hmm.
but you have like momentum. You not only have momentum with like your fan base, but with your career. You come in with more of a confidence. With that being said, looking ahead, I mean, I don't want to say past your fight career because you're still in
Yeah.
your prime, but having done the seminars, watching your career explode, the UFC Fight Pass, the world is literally your oyster. Do you think about the next phase of your life? You have a wife, I'm sure. You know,
Yeah.
where's your head? Where are your goals at post fight career? What do you want to be doing?
Yeah, I want to. I'm building right now my website,
Mm.
my Leduc Lethwei Academy. So that's gonna be pretty cool, and I'm excited for that. I don't know if I can tell you like a small thing of the website. One of the things is gonna be because I really like the idea of the Lethwei the Gracie garage back in the days. You know, when
Mhm.
they were opening garages. The guys were opening garage. They had to follow the curriculum of the Gracies, but then over time, the garage were getting so popular that they opened some small training centers. So this is something that I think will work really well for Lethwei because there's actually no Lethwei schools around the world. So it's gonna be a Leduc backyard instead of a garage.
I
So
like it, man.
and I already see a lot of my guys, a lot of my followers that they have backyards and they train pad sessions with their friends on the backyard. So it's gonna be perfect. And my goal is over time when obviously we're gonna follow the curriculum of Lethwei in these backyards, and then over time we'll be able to get like small training centers in all around the world because of that. So very exciting for this. It's gonna be should be launched either before the fight or after the fight in August, and that's my main thing with obviously I'm going to do a Lethwei retreat and you're going to be invited. It's going to be in Myanmar to experience the culture, the food, and I'm going to get probably some of my former opponents,
That's
former
awesome.
champions that are going to be. We're going to do it in Napoli Beach. So Napoli Beach is a beautiful one of the pristine water, like it looks like Maldives. It's in Myanmar,
Mm.
and we're gonna be like training on the beach, a Lethwei retreat, and then obviously seeing some Lethwei fights and running in the hills. It's gonna be a real immersion of Lethwei for like a week in Myanmar. Most people message me like, Dave, I want to go train, but I don't know how to go. So well, we're gonna cater and customize the everything so people can just come from all over the world, train Lethwei for a week, and experience the culture. So that's the plan. Obviously, my it's gonna all everything that I do is gonna be uh, around Lethwei for the rest of my life.
That's awesome, man. Is there any place that people watching this and listening to this could find like merchandise? I know there's some T-shirts, some hats. Do you have a website that you could give us now?
Uh, well, I'm working on it right now. It's
Okay.
gonna be very soon, and yeah, the shop is being complete very soon. If they want, they just can follow my Instagram, King Leduc, and I'll announce the link shortly. I'm working on it right now, so couple stuff.
All right, sounds good, man. In the show notes, I'll put all your social medias and the links. Dude, man, I know your time is valuable. I really appreciate you doing this. And man, next time we speak, you might have a helicopter.
That's the plan, man. I'm
Yes,
not complaining. I'm not complaining. We're working hard.
dude, keep pushing, man. Like it's really like all my clients, my friends, I tell them about Lethway, and same
Yeah.
thing. They're like, dude, how have I never heard of this? I remember when I first met you, I said the
The
same thing.
question is, have you thrown a headbutt on the bag yet?
Well, the well, I don't like doing things wrong, man. I'm kind of a little bit of a perfectionist. So
Okay.
I've been watching how you throw it, and you kind of like you'll throw the jab and throw the headbutt almost like a jab. So I I don't want to hurt myself, man.
It,
Do you
it
have a
takes a
video?
little bit. It takes a little bit of like I don't want to say practice, but to get used to just doing because
What
it's a
part
bit.
of the head is it? You're hitting here, right?
I mean, if
Or,
it's a side headbutt, it's going to be on the side here, and it's just the front, like it's on the nose. It's going to be with the where your hairline starts.
or what
Yeah.
combo would you throw it with? Like if I'm bot, would you go like a 1-2 headbutt, a 1-2? Like what would you throw it with?
In the pads, I like to do like 1, 2, 3, and leave
Yep.
my left hand in the air,
Uh
and
huh.
as a protection, and then I go over my arm, over
Ah.
it because it's like a shield,
Like
Yeah,
that. Ah.
and
All right.
but to be perfectly honest, I prefer doing a headbutt when I'm in close quarters because
Okay.
I feel more protected. Because from far, there's always a risk of an elbow or something. So I like when I'm clinching to do headbutts more than doing from far. It's very risky to do it from far. But
When you're
if you
drilling,
land it, then
yeah, when you're drilling on the heavy bag, do you have any sort of combo patterns that you would kind of mix in?
yeah. So the like I said, the jab cross
One,
hook,
two,
boom,
three, boom.
the big elbow, and then
Mm-hmm.
follow up right away.
All right.
And obviously I'm just gonna grab. I'm gonna hug the bag, and block on the, and then remove my hand and strike.
Yeah, and is that from orthodox style?
Any side, you know,
Any side.
and
Yeah,
you block. That's the bag here. I'm blocking here, so if ever he headbutts me, it doesn't cut me like we spoke about last time.
Yep.
But if I remove it, I can strike.
That's so slick, dude. So are you gonna wait till after August to come down to Australia?
Yes, we're for sure we're gonna come, but I don't know when. I'm working on it. I know there's a lot of Lethwei fans in Australia.
Yeah, you let me know, man. Like I'm based in Sydney. I don't know if you know Tony Jeffries. He was a boxer, boxing burn in LA. He's a Brit. He came down here. The health club I work at, I do all my clients at.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready, dude. We have so many members and so many coaches. I'll be able to set all that sort of stuff up for you.
I just noticed. Did you live in America or something? Because you have.
I grew up in Lake Erie.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Near Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay. Because you don't have an accent. You don't have the Australian accent at all.
Nah, man. I moved here about 5.5 years ago and never left.
Okay. And was gonna say, yeah. So did you throw it? You didn't try it yet?
Well, I haven't tried on the heavy bag, but I'm glad that you reminded me. Like, the last thing I want to do is throw one and look like an idiot. And that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I don't know what part of the neck to lean on. Is it boom, boom, boom? I'll have to check some of your videos out, man.
Try with the I did a video recently in Myanmar on a very old bag, a very destroyed bag, and try an elbow and then push with your other leg and then go for the headbutt.
Yeah,
you know?
All right. So it's like it's almost like a dance. I was explaining Lethwei to somebody in my life like last night, and they had never heard of it or seen it. And I said at its highest level, it's almost like a war march dance when you're seeing it fought with two high, like top of the food chain fighters. That headbutt is almost like the icing on the cake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know? It is. Yeah, well said. Well said. Yeah.
So Dave, man, once again, thanks for doing this. I'll get this up in a couple days, man, and I'm just gonna keep my eyes and ears open for August, dude. I know you're gonna do your thing.
Yeah, I'm excited, and I'll be ready. And after that, it's gonna be. Actually, I think they're gonna fly. I was told they're gonna fly Josh Barnett for the event.
Okay.
So guys, just a couple of guys that were involved because they really want to, especially with UFC Fight Pass. They have a nice relationship with UFC. So. I think it's going to be cool to get some guys from the mainstream MMA sport to get into the fight. So it's going to be cool. Yeah,
Barnett, I think he was a legendary catch wrestler. He's American. So, yeah. He used to do, and then Japan. He was like a star.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. They sort of screwed him over, man.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Well, the stupid Olympic drug testing committee, he had like tainted supplements. And I mean, he was in his late 30s at the time, and because of this stupid law, he had like a mandatory 1.5 years, 2 years. He lost like the whole end of his career because he's a good guy.
Okay, but yeah, so a couple of guys like this are gonna fly over to bring some more tweeting and more excitement to the event. So it's gonna be cool. And apart from that, I think we're. I'll keep you posted for the news for the next fight.
All right, brother, man. Keep doing your thing, man. I'll be watching.
All right, buddy. See you soon.
All right, peace, man. See ya. Yep.